fact of the matter is that I've been kind of upset and humiliated about the whole situation since it happened. I texted Dion early in the year and told him, tell his son, keep his head up. He's very smart, doing the right thing, just play football and enjoy himself. We know wrong treatment when we see it, and for me, in 2025, this is still going on. It's humiliating. It's disgusting that we live in a place where in 2025, this kind of activity is still taking place. You understand? I'm sorry, but my mind is my mind. I am allowed to speak my mind. And that is effed up that's going the way that's going. Because he was supposed to be the number one draft pick, not a number one draft pick. He was supposed to be the number one draft pick. But word got out that, they got the call, no, don't draft him. And he didn't get drafted by no team. Not just one team, no team. Then the team that did get him, I found out yesterday, I heard somebody say that somehow what Dion made it through water on the coach back in the day or something, I don't know. And that's why the coach don't like, I don't know what the hell though, but it don't matter what it is. There's so many stories around it that it's crazy, but it's like, how can you draft a player that's supposed to be, everybody knows he's supposed to be number one.
Let's be honest right from the start. This isn't just another rookie story. This isn't just about a bad game, a tough loss, or a young quarterback learning on the job. This is about Shedeur Sanders walking into the NFL with a target already on his back. And now you've got boxing legends like Roy Jones Jr. and Andre Ward stepping in and saying out loud what a lot of fans have been thinking quietly or yelling online for months. Because when Roy Jones Jr. looks into a camera and says what happened to Shedeur Sanders is humiliating and disgusting, that's not clickbait. That's a Hall of Famer who's lived through politics, pressure, and punishment speaking from experience. Shedeur Sanders was supposed to be a first-round pick. Some boards had him top 5. Mel Kiper even had him going number 1. And yet somehow he slid and slid and slid again, all the way to the 5th round. Pick 144. And the moment that happened, the narrative changed. Suddenly, it wasn't about his arm talent. It wasn't about leading the nation in passing yards. It wasn't about his composure or football IQ. It became about teaching him a lesson. A lesson for who he is. A lesson for who his father is. A lesson for the Sanders name. And that's where the story stops being comfortable. Because Roy Jones Jr. didn't hesitate. He said what many were scared to say. He said he knew wrong treatment when he saw it. And he said it bothered him that in 2025, this kind of thing still happens. That's heavy. And here's the part people don't want to admit. Shedeur didn't help their narrative by breaking down. He didn't lash out that he didn't play victim. He didn't say the wrong thing. He did the opposite. He responded like a 10-year veteran. Every press conference, every baited question, every awkward moment where reporters tried to push him into saying something sideways about his coach, his team, or his situation. And Shedeur just smiled, stayed calm, and answered like someone who already understands the long game. So let me ask you something early, that if this kid was really overrated, if he really didn't belong, why did everyone suddenly need to humble him?
I love Shedeur's response. You got to know that offline, at home, he has moments. You got to know that he's having conversations with his father like, man, Pops, what's going on with this? What you think about this? His father has been there and done that, right? But Shedeur has been in the spotlight since he's been a kid. They had a reality show that, where the world knew who Deion's family was. He was a top prospect in high school. He balled out in college. And just to see his response, man, is a powerful, powerful thing for me. And sometimes God puts you in those positions because he's making you into something greater. Maybe Shedeur doesn't become all that he's supposed to be if he gets that first, second round, third round pick, or that, if he becomes a first round pick or goes in that first round. There's some things that I think Shedeur is gaining from this moment that you can only gain from going through it. Is it fair? Nah, it don't seem fair. Is it right? Nah, it don't seem right. But sometimes guys looking at that situation different, and I don't know why he's going through this or why this is happening, but man, Shedeur Sanders' response, not just when he has a camera in his face, but on the field, at practice, man, it's a powerful, powerful thing. And every athlete, I don't care what age you are, should take notes from Shedeur Sanders on how you respond to the things that come your way.
You're preaching.
Andre Ward said something that should hit every young athlete watching this. You don't know what you have in you until the pressure comes. And Shedeur Sanders is under pressure like very few rookies ever are. Not because of his play alone, but because of his name, because of his confidence, because he doesn't shrink. And that bothers people. They wanted him quiet, they wanted him humbled, they wanted him to slip and show cracks. Instead, he showed discipline. And now fast forward to Cleveland. The Browns just came off a brutal 31-3 loss to the Chicago Bears. 31-3, that's not a loss. That's a message. And in that game, the entire offense looked broken. No rhythm, no confidence, no identity. Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders is standing on the sideline, still waiting for consistent first-team reps, still waiting for a real chance, still answering questions with professionalism after every setback. And Roy Jones Jr. noticed something else. Every time Shedeur does get on the field, he flashes. Calm in the pocket, quick processing, leadership you can't coach. Until this Bears game, where yes, he struggled. 3 interceptions. His worst outing so far. But let's be real. How many reps did he get with the first team? How many weeks was he truly prepared as the guy? How many young quarterbacks thrive when they're thrown into chaos? This is where Andre Ward steps in and changes the tone. Ward doesn't deny the unfairness, he doesn't sugarcoat it, he straight up says it doesn't seem right. But then he says something deeper. Sometimes God puts you in these moments to build you into something greater. And if you know Andre Ward's story, that hits harder. He compares it to his own 1988 Olympic experience. A moment where he couldn't respond the way he wanted to. A moment where pressure revealed who he really was. And that's the word that keeps coming up with Shedeur Sanders. Response. Not talent, not hype, response. How you respond when the plan falls apart. How you respond when expectations flip overnight. How you respond when the league tests you. And Shedeur's response has been Hall of Fame level. Roy Jones Jr. said it best. He's having Hall of Fame responses as a rookie. Think about that. Not plays, not stats, responses. Because leadership shows up before championships. Now let me pull you back into the present. The Browns have Buffalo coming up next. A physical team, a disciplined team, a team that will expose weaknesses fast. So here's the question for you. Do the Browns stick with the same approach after getting embarrassed 31-3? Or do they finally give the young quarterback who's handled everything the right way a real opportunity? Because at some point, accountability has to move upward. What if this delay, this frustration, this so-called lesson, is actually building the most dangerous version of Shedeur Sanders? Roy Jones Jr. said the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Raised by a Hall of Famer. Acting like one already. And here's the uncomfortable truth. You can delay opportunity, you can limit reps, you can question motives, but you can't stop growth. Roy said it plainly. When God puts his hands on something, nobody can stop it. And that's why this story isn't going away. Every bad Browns loss brings it back. Every quarterback struggle brings it back. Every calm Shedeur interview brings it back. Because fans are watching. And they're asking questions. Why wasn't he drafted earlier? Why isn't he getting consistent first-team reps? Why does he look more composed than guys ahead of him? And now, after that Chicago loss, with Buffalo looming, the spotlight is brighter than ever. If Shedeur Sanders rises from this, if he becomes what many believe he can become, what does that say about how this league handled him early? Because adversity doesn't break everyone. Sometimes it sharpens them. And sometimes, it creates something the league isn't ready for. That's why Roy Jones Jr. was emotional, that's why Andre Ward was reflective, and that's why this story matters beyond one game or one draft night. Shedeur Sanders isn't just playing football right now. He's passing a test. And so far, he's acing it. If you believe Shedeur deserves a Real shot, if you think this situation exposed more than just football decisions, drop your thoughts in the comments. Should Cleveland change course before Buffalo? Or is this pressure building the next great NFL leader? Let's keep going because there's another layer to this story that people aren't talking about enough. What's happening to Shedeur Sanders right now isn't just about wins and losses. It's about perception. And perception in the NFL can shape careers before they ever truly start. Think about how quickly narratives form in this league. One bad game? You're struggling. One bad loss? You're not ready. One quiet rookie season? You're disappointing. But context matters. Shedeur Sanders stepped into a Browns team that already had instability, coaching questions, offensive inconsistency, a fan base desperate for answers. Then add the pressure of his last name, the draft day slide, and the whispers of politics behind the scenes. That's not a normal rookie situation. That's a stress test. And yet, listen to how veterans talk about him. Not just Roy Jones Jr. and Andre Ward, but players around the league. They don't talk about entitlement. They talk about composure. They talk about maturity. They talk about how he carries himself in meetings, in practice, and after losses like that 31-3 embarrassment against Chicago. Ask yourself this. How many rookies could walk off the field after a loss that bad, face cameras, face loaded questions, and still answer with clarity and control? Most can't. That's why Ward's point about pressure is so important. Pressure doesn't create character. It reveals it. And Shedeur's character is showing up every single week. Now zoom out even more. The Browns are heading into a matchup with Buffalo, a team that thrives on forcing mistakes. A team that feeds off hesitation. A team that will punish uncertainty at quarterback. So the Browns have a decision to make. Do they keep trying to force a narrative that isn't working? Or do they lean into the quarterback who has already proven he can handle chaos? What if the Browns already have their answer, and they're just afraid to admit it? Because every time Shedeur steps on the field, there's something different. Not perfect, not polished, but present. He's not rattled. He's not overwhelmed. He's not shrinking under the weight of expectations. And that's dangerous in the best way. Roy Jones Jr. talked about being ignored, left off lists, overlooked on purpose. Andre Ward talked about representing something bigger than himself when emotions were high. Shedeur is living that same lesson in real time. He's learning patience, he's learning restraint, he's learning how to lead without power. And when that power finally comes, that's when stories like this flip completely. So here's another question for you, and be honest. If Shedeur Sanders wasn't named Sanders, if his father wasn't Dion, if he came from a quieter background, would this situation even exist? Or would we be talking about development, upside, and future starter potential? That's why this conversation matters. Not just for Shedeur, but for every young player watching how the league treats confidence, legacy, and self-belief. Because confidence is only celebrated when it fits the system. Shedeur doesn't fit neatly. He never has, and he never will. And that's exactly why this story isn't done. Not in Cleveland, not this season, not even close. Let me know what you think. Is Shedeur being tested for a reason, or is the league making a mistake it'll regret later? And here's the final piece that ties everything together. Legacy doesn't start when you lift a trophy. It starts when everything around you is trying to break you. That's where Shedeur Sanders is standing right now. Not in the spotlight of success, but in the shadow of doubt. And yet, he's not acting like someone who's lost. He's acting like someone who knows this chapter is temporary. That matters. Because when Roy Jones Jr. says he texted Dion early and told him to keep his son's head up, that wasn't just encouragement. That was recognition. Recognition from someone who understands how systems work, how narratives are controlled, and how silence can be louder than protest. Shedeur chose silence where others would have chosen chaos. He chose patience where others would have demanded answers. And that choice is shaping him. Look around the NFL. The quarterbacks who last aren't always the most gifted. They're the ones who can survive uncertainty. They're the ones who don't fold when plans change. They're the ones who understand that respect is earned in moments no one celebrates. This Browns situation will not define Shedeur Sanders by itself, but how he moves through it will. And that's why Andre Ward's words carry weight. Pressure shows you what's really inside. And what's inside Shedeur Sanders looks a lot like leadership, discipline, and quiet confidence. So whether Cleveland gives him that full opportunity now or later, whether it happens against Buffalo or weeks down the line, one thing is clear. You can delay him, you can test him, you can doubt him, but you can't erase what's already there. And when this story eventually flips, because stories like this always do, people will look back at this moment and say, that's where it started. Not with hype, not with headlines, but with resistance. If you're still watching, you already see it. And that's why this isn't just a football story. It's a reminder. Character always shows up before greatness. Stay locked in, stay questioning, and stay tuned with Gridiron Insights. Because the next chapter of Shedeur Sanders' journey is coming sooner than a lot of people think. Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to Gridiron Insights for more real NFL breakdowns like this. Because stories like this, they don't fade, they turn into legacy.